Hello everyone, it's Reverend Libby, here for chapel time from the nave today. This week and next week, we're continuing our stories and our learning about all the saints of God. Last week, when you met Rev Jen in your chapel video or in your music class, she talked to you about what a saint is. A saint is, first of all, someone who is especially close to God. And second of all, a saint is someone who does many, many things for other people. A saint is especially close to God and does many things to help other people. A few weeks back in the classrooms, we talked about Saint Francis, who lived a long time ago. And he was especially close to God, as we learned, and he was close to animals, and he was very generous with other people. He gave away all of his money and lived in the forest. He was one of the saints of God that we remember and celebrate in the church. And we tell the stories of Saint Francis every year and many other saints, so that we can learn how to be a better person ourselves. So we can learn from all the saints' examples. Today and next week, we will be sharing stories of saints who lived and worked right here in Hawaii, right here on the islands where we live today. A little bit later, I'm going to tell you the story of Father Damien, who lived and worked on the island of Molokai. But first, as you know, we want to get ready to hear the story. So I invite you to sit quietly wherever you are, on the floor or in your desk chair. I invite you to place your hands quietly on the desk or in your lap. And I invite you to close your eyes and breathe in and out. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and we can begin. I'll move the camera so that you can see what I have to show you on my table. This is the map of the whole world, where all of God's people live. Sometimes we see this map on a globe. It's a ball shaped on a stand. But sometimes we make it flat like this, so that we can see everything all at the same time. This is the story of Father Damien, who was born and grew up in Belgium, right here in a country that was part of Europe, very far away from the islands of Hawaii. Father Damien lived a long time ago, but not as long ago as Saint Francis. I'll show you what I mean. This is a picture of time, and it goes in this direction. Father Abraham lived before Jesus. At the beginning of this line is when Jesus lived. 1,200 years later is when Saint Francis lived on the earth. 700 years after that, Father Damien lived on the earth. This line stands for today. See how close it is to Father Damien's line? Father Damien lived only 100 years ago. When Father Damien was a little boy, he learned about God and became very close to God. He decided to give his whole life to God, and so did his older brother. He became a member of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Father Damien's brother said that he would go all the way from Belgium to Hawaii to help the church there grow. But that brother became too sick to travel, so Father Damien came to Hawaii instead. Here's where Father Damien started in Belgium. If you take a ship today, you can go through the Panama Canal to come all the way over here to Hawaii. But when Father Damien lived, the Panama Canal was not there. So his ship had to sail in the water all the way around South America and come to Hawaii that way. A very long journey. Father Damien learned about Hansen's disease. It is a sickness that can spread from person to person. 100 years ago, no one knew how the sickness spread. So the only thing they could do was have all the sick people move in together, away from the people who were not sick. In Hawaii, these people lived in a place called Kalaupapa on the island of Molokai. The people there needed lots of help. They needed to build a school and houses and a hospital and a church. So Father Damien went to live with them. Father Damien helped the people on Molokai build all the things they needed. Houses, a hospital, and a church. Father Damien stayed his whole life on the island of Molokai. Because people can spread this disease, though, Father Damien got Hansen's disease and he died. Father Damien is a saint. He knew that if he went to Molokai to help the people with Hansen's disease, that he could get sick and die in Kalaupapa. And that's what happened. But Father Damien went to Molokai anyway. Why? Because he was very close to God, and that's what God asked him to do. Father Damien was very close to God, and he did many good things for other people. I wonder what it was like for Father Damien to travel all the way on a ship from Belgium to Hawaii. I wonder how Father Damien had fun with his friends on Molokai, his new friends who lived there. I wonder how Father Damien prayed, because being on Molokai was very dangerous and risky for him. I wonder how you and I can learn from Father Damien's example. Next week, you will hear about two more saints of Hawaii that we remember and celebrate in the church. Queen Liliuokalani and the King and Queen Emma and Kamehameha IV. They were especially close to God too, and they did many, many good things for God's people. I wonder what we will hear and learn from their example. To finish up today, I'd like to share with you a song that I love that's all about the saints. And it goes like this. I sing a song of the saints of God, patient and brave and true. They toiled and fought and lived and died for the Lord they loved and knew. And one was a doctor, and one was a queen, and one was a shepherd on the green. They were all of them saints of God, and I mean God helping to be one too. They live not only in ages past, there are hundreds of thousands still. The world is bright with the joyous saints who love to do Jesus' will. You can meet them in school, or in lanes, or at sea, in church, or in trains, or in shops, or at tea. For the saints of God are just folk like me, and I mean to be one too. Amen. Have a great rest of your day.